What if the reason your MSP feels overloaded isn't volume of tickets at all, but how those tickets are actually being assigned? Steve here, an operational strategist from Advanced Global MSP Coaching, a team of Autotask experts. We all know that dumping a new client request ticket in a queue and asking the techs to figure it out causes firefighting, less controlled, chaotic work environment, and hampers growth. How unproductive can the service delivery team be, you ask? Well, according to Kaseya research, techs are only productive 50% of the time. That means you're probably paying them for 40 hours per week, but they're only providing value to you or your clients 20 hours per week. If an MSP was able to increase the tech's productivity by 10%, meaning that they're now productive 24 hours per week, it would be a revenue increase of $600 per tech per week or $31,000 plus per tech per year. And do the math for yourself. Take your standard roll rate, which is typically around 150, 175, 200 if you're in New York. Take your standard roll rate times 4 hours per week. And then multiply it times 52 weeks of the year, and you're going to come up in the ballpark of $30,000 plus per year per tech. And multiply it times 50 weeks if you provide PTO or holiday or anything along those vacation concepts. So what's the solution? It's amazing how much the service delivery operation improves just by implementing a triage review and assignment process. 60 to 70% of the operational chaos goes away with this simple improvement. We spent over a decade helping MSPs move from reactive chaos to structured, scalable operations. And if you're watching this thinking, we probably need to get more organization, you're not alone. That's exactly why we put together an MSP operational improvement checklist. It helps you pinpoint where operational breakdowns are happening before they turn into service issues. Now let's break this down. Most MSPs assume the problem is ticket volume. Too many tickets, too many clients, too much demand. But the real issue is far more operational. Tickets go into a queue, and then the expectation is the team self-directs themselves from there. On paper, this sounds very flexible, sounds like a great client experience. But in reality, it creates inconsistency, delays, rework. That's not a great client experience, and that's what leads to client complaints, and that's what hampers you from growth. And the bigger you get, the more flexibility turns into more inefficiency. As your MSP grows, three things start to happen. Tech skill levels vary widely. Tickets become more specialized knowledge, and ownership of assignment becomes unclear. So instead of a structured flow, you get tickets sitting around a lot longer than they should, work bouncing between techs, frustration on both the tech and the client side, and again, causing that client noise. And here's what most people miss. You don't actually get faster as you hire more staff. You get more complexity with less structure. There's a moment every MSP hits. It shows up somewhere around your fourth or fifth tech hire, definitely by the time you hire your sixth tech. And that's when just use the queue model stops working. What used to feel simple now feels unpredictable. And this is usually the stage where we see MSPs start looking for outside help because internally it feels like things are slipping through the cracks faster than they can be fixed. Here's the shift that changes everything. Triage is not queue management problem. It's an assignment problem. And if every assignment decision comes down to two variables, skill set, which is who is actually best suited for the work, and availability, when can they realistically get to it? Today, we're focused on skill set because most MSPs never define it properly. Forget traditional labels like level one, level two, level three. They're too broad to be operational useful. Instead, define skills based on your actual environment, your supported technology stack, your different ticket types so the client requests that come in, and your client specific needs. Then translate that into PS structure, for example, in Autotask as an issue, sub-issue, and ticket category. This becomes the real foundation of assignment logic. Next, create a structured skill view across your team. On one side, technician names. Across the top, your full supported technology stack that's aligned with your issues and sub-issues. Then have each tech assess themselves. Am I a basic knowledge, intermediate knowledge, advanced? I would love to be the project champion, or I don't want to touch this issue with a 10-foot pole. Once completed, validate it through your service manager so it reflects a reality and is communicated consistently throughout the team. This is also where a lot of MSPs realize that they think they know their team's strength, but they haven't actually documented it anywhere. This is where most MSPs default back to habit. But instead of guessing or broadcasting tickets, you shift the process. When a ticket arrives, identify a qualified technician based on skills. Narrow to a short but relevant list of techs, and assign based on fit, not availability alone. This removes ambiguity from the system. And more importantly, it removes unnecessary decision fatigue from your team. Most MSPs never formalize this step, so assignment becomes reactive. Slack or team messages, who knows this, tribal knowledge decisions. That approach works at a small scale, but it breaks down as soon as complexity increases. And eventually, your strongest technicians become your bottleneck. Everyone is talking about AI in MSP operations right now, but here's the reality most people miss. AI doesn't fix broken processes. It accelerates the mess, the firefighting, the lack of control, and the inability to grow. If your assignment logic is unclear, if your skill mapping is inconsistent, AI simply will scale that inconsistently faster. Garbage in, garbage out, and now add AI operational speed. So this is why we're seeing so many MSPs explore AI readiness assessments, because they want to make sure the foundation is solid before layering automation on top. If you want to improve ticket assignment and reduce operational friction, define skills based on your actual tech environment. Build a structured skill matrix across your team. Validate it with leadership oversight and use it to assign tickets intentionally, not reactively. When you do this consistently, your entire delivery model becomes more predictive, scalable, efficient, and AI ready. If you want help pressure testing where your MSPs stand operationally, start with our MSP Operational Improvement Checklist. It gives you a structured way to see where breakdowns are happening across triage, delivery, and workflow design. And if you're at the point where you're thinking we need a more formal operational reset, you can also book an AI preparedness review with us at Advanced Global. We walk you through the current setup and show you exactly where structure is missing before layering automation on top. Other than that, have an awesome day.